गुरवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोकिर्भक्तिर्भवती नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. We are continuing our study of Bhakti Vaibhava, study of 6th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam.
Recording in progress.
We are in chapter 4, and Hansa Guhya prayer is the heading of the chapter, and these are the prayers which are starting from verse number 23 all through verse number 34. So yesterday we completed up till which verse? 33.
The last verse, Chakravarti Path commentary we have to read.
Yeah, we reached to the Chakravarti Path commentary, right? 34 verse. Yah prakratai jnana pathai jananam यथा आस्यम देह गतो विभाति यथा अनिलः पार्थव्यम आश्रितो गुणाम स ईश्वरो मे कर्तुम मनोरथम. So ultimately he is saying sa Ishwaro, that supreme Lord, may kartum, must fulfill my manoratham, desire. So he may fulfill desire, my desire. And before that he is saying something with an analogy. Yatha anilah, anila means air. Prathavi means when carry dust, then it becomes dusty. If it carries some fragrance, it becomes fragrant. So similarly, prakrti guna prathai jananam, prakrti, low grade, prakrit as we say neophyte. Gyan pathai, by the path of worship, jananam, of all living entities, yatha ashyam, according to the desire, deha gat, situated within the core of heart, a super soul, vibhati, manifests, yatha, just as they. So it looks like here the translation, as the air carries various characteristics of the physical elements like the aroma of the flower or color resulting from mixture of dust in the air, the Lord appears through lower system of worship according to one's desires. Although he appears as the demigod or not in his original form, is not in his original form. What is the use of these other forms? May the original Supreme Personality Godhead please fulfill my desire. That Ishwar who entering the bodies, dehagat, of the person following an immature path of knowledge, prakritir gyan pathai janana, appear to be Jeev according to the nature of their heart. Just as air appear various after taking shelter of various fragrances. should fulfill my desire. Okay. Now, also realize in lower forms. It means those who are neophyte, they may consider demigod or some living entity as God, but there is not the original God. So I am interested in original God only. So Prabhupada writes, Panchadev Upasana, we discuss different demigods, and then this concept of then this particular part was in pardon. Yesterday we discussed this in quick hurry. Yeah, there are three classes of men. Lowest, Adam. This is Madhvacharya. Swadehe is the Harim. In everybody's body there is Supreme Personality Hari. Pradhor Adhama. There are some who are lowest. Jivam Eva. Tum Adhyamas. And there are some which are medial. Chapi Anir Bhinam Janardhanam. So the lowest Adam, those in the middle Madhyama, and the best Uttam. The lowest Adam think that there is no difference between the God and living entity, except that the living entity is under designation, whereas the absolute truth has no designation. This is called Upadhi, Jeev with Upadhi, Jeev without Upadhi. This is a Mayavad concept. Jeev with Upadhi and Jeev without Upadhi. So the designation means Upadhi. So this is, now Jeev is covered by Maya and Upadhi, therefore he is thinking he is Jiva. When his designation is dissolved, then he becomes Brahm. So this is the concept of Mayavadi, which in this case is a Prakritik, or the neophyte think like that. In their opinion, as soon as the designation of the material body are dissolved, the Jeev, the living entity, will mix with the Supreme. It means Brahmaleen. The Jeev, who is also Brahm, become merged into the Supreme Brahm. They give the argument of Ghat Akash and Pat Akash. You know these two words, Ghat Akash and Bhat Akash, we have discussed sometime. Akash means space. Ghat means a part. A earthen part, inside the earthen part there is a space, Akash. And all around that part is also the open air, space. So there is a one space inside the part and there is a one space outside. Outside space is unlimited, but inside space is very small. But when that earthen part is broken, then that space which was in the part now merge with the other space. That is called Ghat Akash and Pat Akash. This is the concept of Mayavadis. And in which the body is compared to a part, like an earthen part, with the sky within and the sky without. When the part breaks, the sky inside becomes one with the sky outside. And so the impersonal say that the living being becomes one with Supreme. So this Ghat Akash, this is the lowest Prakritik Jnani Pathena, which are on the path of knowledge, but they are Prakritik or beginner or neophyte. And so the impersonal say that the living entity become one with the Supreme. This is their argument. But the Madhvacharya say that such an argument is put forward by lowest class of men, Adam. Another class of men cannot ascertain that what the actual form of the Supreme is. But they agree that there is a Supreme who controls the activities of the ordinary living entities. Such philosophers are accepted as mediocre. It means they say there's the Jeev and say living entity and Supreme is not one. Supreme is controller. But who is Supreme? This is more or less like they are Mayavadis and they are Brahmavadis. So they don't criticize that Lord appears in this material world with the body. No, there is a Supreme who control the ordinary living entities. Now, the best, however, are those who understand the Supreme Lord, Sachidanand Vigraha. Puran Anand Adi Gunakam Sarva Jiva Vilakshanam. His form is completely spiritual, full of bliss and completely distinct from that of the conditioned soul or any other living entity. Uttamastu harim prahu tartamayena teshu cha. Such philosophers are the best because they know that the Supreme Personality of Godhead reveals himself differently to worshipper in various modes of material nature. They know that there are 33 million demigods just to convince the conditioned soul that there is a supreme power and to induce him to agree to the worship one of these demigods so that by association of the devotees he may be able to understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita Matpatram, Na anyat kinchid asti dhananjaya, there is no truth superior to me. Am adiri devanam, I am the origin of all demigods. Aham sarvasya prabhava, I am superior to everyone, even Lord Brahma and Shiva and other. These are the conclusion of the Shastra. And one who accepts these conclusions should be considered a first-class philosopher. Such a philosopher knows that Supreme Personality of Godhead is the Lord of demigods. Deva Deva Ishwaram Sutram Anandam Prana Vedinaha. Now we are going to the Chakravarti Path's purport. It is understood that there is a great difference between the Lord and the Jiva. The Lord has all knowledge and Jiva has little knowledge. This is expressed in the verse 24 and 25 in this chapter. In this chapter, text number 24 and 25 describe there's a difference between the Lord and Jiva. It has also been shown in verse 26 and 7 that one Lord has a personal and impersonal form, which can be realized as such according to one's preference. It has also been stated in the verse 28 and 39 and 30 that though the material forms are also Lord, they are not arising from the Swarup of the Lord. It has been shown in 31 verse and 32 that the statement of bhakti and jnana in scripture are not contradictory. Now, Daksh showed that those who claim that difference between Jiva and Lord is illusory and not real are not following the path of real jnana. He then prays for fulfillment of his desires. The Lord enters the body of the person through path of immature jnana, and according to their heart, either grass or elevated, overcoming his own nature, appears to be Jiva. Just as air taking up a earthly particle, either foul or fine, or taking up fragrance, appears to have various fragrances. So it means that one immature Gyan means Adham. They think that there is no difference between the soul and the super soul. So here ends our this section. Now we will go to the next section. Next section 35 to 54. Lord's instruction to Daksh. Now when Daksh says, please fulfill my desire, I want to see the real form, not the form of the Adhama or mediocre, Madhyam. I want to see that form which is different from the Jiva. So therefore Shukka Vacha, Sukdev Goswami says, Iti stuttaha sanstuvataha. Astutya means as the Hans Goya prayer offered by Daksha. Satasmin Aghamarshane, where it was the place, Aghamarshana, where the sins are destroyed. Pradurasit Kurusreshta, Maharaj Parikshit, Kurusreshta, Pradurasit, their Lord appeared. Who appeared? Bhagavan Bhakta Vatsalaha, the Supreme Lord, who very much care for his devotees. How he was looking? Kritapadah Suprana Anse is a pad means his lotus feet. Supra Anse means on the shoulder of Garuda. Suprashana is a Garuda. Pralambashtah Mahabhujaha Chakra Sankhasi Charmeshu Dhanu Pasha Gadadhara. So then his all different hands has 8 different weapons. Chakra, Sankha, Ashi means sword. Charmeshu, Dhana, the bow. Pash, a rope. Gada, club. Pita was having the yellow color. Ghanashyam, his color was blue. Prasannavada, he was smiling. He was very pleasant face. Akshanaha, his beautiful eyes. Vanamala, and he has a flower garland. So this is the description of the Supreme Lord who appeared before Daksha. Vanamala Niveta Ango, which was reaching to the from the neck to the below knees. Lasatta Shri Vatsa Kautsaba. These are the 2 jewels which differentiate Lord from other 400 personalities in the Vaikuntha. Shri Vatsachin and Kautsaba. Mahakrit Katakaha, he has a beautiful, Krit means crown. Spurana Makara Kundal, and in the ears he has a beautiful shark-shaped earrings. Kanchangulya Valya, he has rings in the fingers and also bracelets. Napurya Gada Bhushana, and also he has the ornaments over the what's called ankle. Trailokya Mohanam Rupam, his form was enchanting 3 words. Vibhrata Tribhuvaneshwara, and he was shining. Vrato Narada, he was accompanied by, Vrato means surrounded. He was surrounded by Narada, Nanda Adya, Nanda and others, his associate. Parshadai, Sura means also some demigod. Yutpatai, the head of the demigods. Stuyamano, and they were offering prayers to the Lord. Anuga Yadabhihi Siddha Gandharva Charinaha, and also they were Siddha Gandharva and Charan. So Well, this is the description by Sukdev Goswami. Sukdev Goswami said, Supreme Personality of Godhead Hari, who is extremely affectionate to his devotees, Bhakta Vatsal, was very pleased by the prayers offered by Daksha Stutya, and thus he appeared at that holy place known as Agamarshan. Maharaj Parikshit, best of the Kuru dynasty, Kurudaha. The Lord's lotus feet rested on the shoulder of his carrier, Garuda, and he appeared with 8 long, mighty, very beautiful arms. In his hands he held a disc, conch shell, sword, shield, arrow, bow, rope, and club. In each hand a different weapon, all brilliantly shining. His garments were yellow and his bodily hue was deep bluish. His eyes and face were very cheerful, and from his neck to his feet hung a long garland of flowers. His chest was decorated with couch of jewel and mark of Srivatsa. On his head was a gorgeous round helmet, and on his ears were decorated with earrings resembling shark. All these ornaments were uncommonly beautiful. The Lord wore a golden belt on his waist, bracelet on his arms, ring on his fingers, and ankle belts on his feet. Thus decorated by various ornaments, Lord Hari, who is attractive to all the living entities of the 3 worlds, is known as Purushottam, the best personality. He was accompanied by great devotees like Narada, Nanda, and all the principal demigods led by the heavenly king Indra, and the resident of various upper planetary systems as Siddhaloka, Gandharvaloka, Chandraloka, situated on both sides of the Lord, and behind him as well. These devotees offered him prayers continuously. So, now Sukdev Goswami continues. Rupam tad mahad ascharya vichakshya agat sadhavasa nanam dandavat bhumau praharshtatma prajapati. So, on seeing that beautiful, astonishing form of the Supreme Lord, Prajapati Daksha offered his Dandavat Pranam. Seeing the wonderful and effulgent form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Prajapati Daksha was first somewhat afraid. But then he was very pleased to see the Lord, and he fell to the ground like a stick, Dandavat, to offer his respect to the Lord. Vichiksha agat sadvasaha nanam dandavat nanam dandavat. Nanam means pranam. Bhumau. Oh, agat sadvasaha. In the beginning, become afraid. Okay. So what is Dandavat means? Different type of pranams. Somebody can refresh different pranams. What is Dandavat pranam is?
Sashtanga Dandavat means the 8 parts of the body should touch the ground.
Okay.
And there is
Very nice. So Ashtanga is a Dandavat pranam, where the 8 parts of the body touch the ground. So what are those 8 parts?
whole arm or legs and belly and even the forehead.
Those are 6. This is called Shashtang Pranam.
Mind is in
Yeah, mind is a 7, and what is the 8th?
Eye,
Sorry?
eyes,
Eyes.
heart,
Heart. What is in the heart? Emotions.
It's prayer or devotion.
Prayers. So, in principle, the mothers offer panchang pranam, not generally. 5 parts of their limb touches the ground except the chest. The male offers shashtang pranam. 6 part means his chest also touches the ground. But why it is called ashtanga? Because when we offer obeisances, we must offer pranam prayers to the presiding deity to which we are offering obeisances. And with we offer our mind, it means we think of the Supreme Lord at that time when we offer obeisances. So mind is focused on the form of the Lord, and the words are to glorify the, like if we are offering say Dandvat to Radha Krishna, we say, Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dhinamandhu Jagat Pate Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi, like that. If we are offering pranam to say Gaur Nitaya, then Panchtatvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhakta Taram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Nityanandam Aham Nomi Sarvanand Karam Param Harinam Pradam Devam Avadhuta Shromanim. So offering obeisance must be along with offering the prayers to the spiritual master, to the presiding deity to which we are offering prayer. Through like Namam Vishnu Padaya, and then the prayer to the, it is not just fall down and stand and go. There must be feeling, offering the mind and focusing on the beautiful form of the Lord, and words to glorify the Lord. So that is the paranam. So na kinchana udriyatum askatati varya muda apurita man udvaharai hridayana eva nirjaharai. So when he was offering prayers, he was so much excited and ecstasy. The example is given, Hridyani means rivers. As the rivers filled by the water flowing from mountains, Nirjaraihi, by the torrents from the mountains, all Daksh's senses were filled with pleasure because of his highly elevated happiness. Daksh should not say anything, but simply remain flat on the ground. Is something coming in your mind when all the limbs were enlightened in ecstasy?
Dhruv Maharaj?
Dhruva Maharaj, he offered also obeisances. He was also stunned. He could not speak. Lord touched the conch-shell to his cheek, and then he started offering prayers. But all limbs of the body were simultaneously enlightened. Here it says, highly elevated happiness. His all senses were filled with pleasure. Devrishi Akrur was also jubilant after offering prayers and seeing Krishna Balaram. Devrishi Narad. You remember when Narad says, when I left this body, then I got the body. At that time, all my limbs were completely enlightened, and then I got the Lord gave me the string veena. At that particularly, there's a full purport is like that. All his different limbs were all shall enlightened. So this is sort of ecstasy Daksh was in. Thus the senses were filled with pleasure. When one actually realizes, when one actually realizes or sees the Supreme Personality of Godhead, actually realizes means realizes within the heart, and sees means seeing directly with the ears or with the eyes. One is filled with complete happiness. For example, when Dhruva Maharaj saw the Lord in his presence, he said, Swamin Kirtartho Asmi Varam na Yache. My dear Lord, I have nothing to ask from you. Now I am completely satisfied. Because he was happy. He got the audience of the Lord, so all his desires are automatically fulfilled. Similarly, when Prajapati Daksh saw the Supreme Lord in his presence, he simply fell flat, unable to speak or ask him for anything. So it means as long as one has not actually realized or seen the Lord, he goes to the temple and always asks for something. That's what everybody is doing. Whoever goes to the temple, he simply prays, God, Lord, give me this, Lord, give me this, because they have not actually realized Lord or seen Lord. Once somebody sees Lord or realizes Lord, then he will not ask anything. He just says, engage me in your service and you use me as you please. So this can show the appearance of the Lord purify the heart actually. It means appearance of the Lord or actual realization of the Lord purify the existence of a conditioned soul. It's now purified. So there is no desire left for separate enjoyment. But Daksha has enjoyed. Just as rivers are filled by waterfalls, his senses were filled with intense bliss. Because of that bliss, he could not speak, see, or hear. Now, verse number 42. Tam tathavantam bhaktam praja kamam prajapatim chittagya sarvabhutanam idam maha janardana. So, although Prajapati Daksh could not say anything, when the Lord who knows everyone's heart saw his devotee prostrate in that manner and desiring to increase the population, he addressed him as follows. So, Lord knew. Any other example where Lord appeared and devotee could not ask, but Lord knew their heart and he gave them benediction according to their desire? Some examples?
Dhruva Maharaj.
Dhruv Maharaj itself.
Yes, Dhruv Maharaj, he went to have a kingdom bigger than his father and grandfather, but he said, I don't want anything, but Lord gave him the earthly planet and also the Dhruva Lok, yes.
Kapil Muni. Sorry, what?
Not Kapil, but the Kapil's father, Kardam. Yeah, he was doing austerities and Lord says, I know that you want to fulfill the desire of your father to increase the progeny. Therefore, I am arranging your marriage. Prajapati says the Swayambhu Manu will bring his daughter, which is matching to you. Please accept that devuti and increase the creation. And then I will appear as your son and then you will come back to me. Yeah, this is to Kardam, Lord said like that.
Yeah.
Similarly, Lord appeared before Oh, you have done verse fifth canto. In the last part, say fifth canto. No, not in the fifth canto. That is in the eighth canto. He appears before Diti and he says, I know you are praying for me to help your son Indra, but I cannot do that directly because, Bali Maharaj is now completely obedient to the Brahmins, so I cannot really do injustice with him. But since you have prayed for me, so your prayer will not be fruitless. Therefore, I appear as your son and become younger brother of Indra. So Lord knows the heart. Even when Brahma, along with Mother Earth, went to pray to the Kirodaksha, say at the milk ocean, Lord says, I know what is the trouble to the earth. I will come. And Brahma, you just ask all the demigod also to appear there to assist me. So Lord knows the heart of all living entities. From this, what we should learn? We should learn that Lord also knows our heart. He is within our heart. It's an example given in Bhagavad Gita, some purport that like near the flower, if you are just near the flower, you can smell the fragrance of the flower. Similarly, Lord within the heart smells all our, say, hidden desires. He knows what we desire. Therefore, why to ask anything from Lord? Prabhupada used to say, if the son every day comes and tell Father, can I get bread? Can I get bread? You are always everything given bread. Why you are asking this? So it is better not to ask Lord for anything. Simply, He knows our heart. And therefore, we simply pray to Him that please engage always in your service and we should never forget you. No other prayers. So now, Lord is addressing Daksha. So, verse number 43. Sri Bhagavan Vacha. Parchetas Mahabhaga, son of Pracheta, the most fortunate. Sangsiddhis tapasa bhavan. Bhava means yours. Tapasa means austerities. Sangsiddhim means complete perfection. Shardhaya mataparaya, you have a full faith, Shardhaya, mataparaya, and thinking me the object of your worship. Mai bhavam param gata, you have achieved my favor, or you attend bhavam. Prabhupada writes bhavam means ecstasy. So Supreme Personality of Godhead says, O most fortunate Parchetas, because of your great faith in me and you have attained the supreme devotional ecstasy. See, here there is the word devotional ecstasy. And in the upcoming purport, Daksh never asked for devotion. Indeed, because of your austerities combined with exalted devotion, your life is now successful, Sangsiddhim. You have achieved complete perfection, Samsiddhim, complete perfection. It's devotion. O fortunate son of Pracheta, you have become perfect by austerities, because you have attained the highest conception of me, Mai Bhavam Param Gataha, through faith directed to me. There's no word bhakti in Chakravarti part, because in the upcoming verses, Daksh did not ask for devotion because he is offender to the Vaishnava. Your life is successful. As the Lord himself confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, one reaches the highest perfection when one attains the fortune of realizing Supreme Personality of Godhead. Mam upetya punar janma dukhalyam ashashvatam napanovanti mahatmanas samsiddhim paramam gataha. So because there is a word samsiddhing in this verse, so Srila Prabhupada has quoted this verse. And this verse in 8th chapter. After attaining me, the great souls who are yogis in devotion never return to this temporary world, which is full of miseries, because they have attained the highest perfection. Therefore, the Krishna conscious movement teaches one to follow the path towards topmost perfection simply by performing devotional service. Param Bhavam means best conception with thought. What is the thought? That is Paramatma. It means the best among the Adham, Madhyam and Uttam, the Uttam, one who think of the Lord as the ultimate goal. That is called Param Gatim, Param Bhavam. Param Bhavam, Srila Prabhupada has taken Param Bhavam as Bhav Bhakti, topmost devotion. Verse number 44. So verse 43 to 55, Lord speaks to Daksha. It's almost 11 verses. Prito aham, I am pleased. Te prajanatha, oh, you who are going to be the father of creation. Yatate asyada brangsanam tapaha. You have undergone the asya of the material world, bransam, causing increased tapa, austerity. Mamaisha kamo bhutanam yada bhuyasu vibhutayah. My dear Prajapati Daksh, you have performed extreme austerities for the welfare and growth of the world. My desire also is that everyone within this world be happy. I am therefore very pleased with you because you are endeavoring to fulfill my desire for welfare of the entire world. Master of the progeny, Prajanath, I am pleased with you, Prito Aham Te, since you are austerity, Yatate Tapaha, for increasing the population, Asya Bhutanam Udbrhansam. Is also my desire, Mam Esh Kamha, that increasing of living entities take place. I am pleased with you. After every dissolution of material cosmos, all the living entities take shelter in body of Karun Dakshai Vishnu. And when creation takes place again, they come forth from his body in their various species to resume their activities. So what is this? Can somebody explain these lines? After every dissolution, which dissolution? Of the material cosmos. How many type of dissolution are we aware of? Dissolution means pralaya.
The first one is which occurs at the end of the Brahma's day.
That is cosmic creation. Yes, that is the creation when Brahma's. Say again. No. Now then.
It occurs at the end of the Brahma's day. When it Brahma's night starts, that time it occurs.
That is
and
not.
Again it,
How many material planetary systems we have studied? How many material planetary system? 14.
14, yeah.
Yeah? From Patal to the Satyalok, from Patal lowest and Satya top. So how many planets are dissolved when Brahma's day is over?
Up to Sargalok.
Only 3, Bhur, Bhuva, Swa.
Yeah.
And when this happens, all the living entities enter into Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, not Karun Dakshaya Vishnu.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, Garbhodakshai.
So it means this is the dissolution of material cosmos, means all 14 planetary system at the end of Brahma's day. When the
This is at the end of Brahma's life.
Yeah, Brahma's life. Yeah, this appears to me in it because Karunadaksha Vishnu is the
Yeah.
they come forth with the body in these various species. Why does the creation takes place in such a way that the living entities are put into conditioned life to suffer the threefold miseries imposed upon them by the material nature? Why? Here the Lord says to Daksha, you desire to benefit all living entities, and that is also my desire. The living entities who come in contact with material world are meant to be corrected. All the living entities within the material world have revolted against the service of the Lord, and therefore they remain within the material world as ever conditioned, nitya baddha, taking birth again and again. There is a chance, of course, of their being liberated, but nevertheless the conditioned souls, not taking advantage of this opportunity, continue in a life of a sense enjoyment, and thus they are punished by birth and death again and again. This is the law of nature. As Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, Deviye ish gunmai mammaya durtaya mam ye prapadyante mayam etan tarantite. So, elsewhere in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says, Mamayanso jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana manasishtani indriyani prakriti sani karshati. You know all these verses. The living entity's struggle for existence within the material world is due to his rebellious nature. Unless a living entity surrenders to Krishna, he must continue his life of struggle. Krishna conscious movement is not a fad. It's a fake. It's not a fake thing. It is a bona fide movement intended to promote the welfare of all conditioned souls by trying to elevate everyone to the platform of Krishna consciousness. If one does not come to this platform, he must continue in material existence perpetually. Sometimes in the upper planets and sometimes in the lower planet, as confirmed in Chaitanya Chaitamrita. Bahu kabu swarge uthaye, kabu narake dubaye. The conditioned soul sometimes descend into the nescience and sometimes gets some relief by being relatively free from it, going to the heaven and hell. This is the life of conditioned soul. Prajapati Daksh is trying to benefit the conditioned soul by begetting them to give them a life with a chance for liberation. This is what generally we preach, we say, the Grahastha ashram, a household life, is cooperating the desire of Lord for creation. Because the living entities has to take birth and then they can be rectified. Therefore, nowadays no householders are begetting children. So they are again revolting against the desire of the Lord. They think we are happy because we are less children, but they are rebellious against the desire of the Lord actually. I mean, in our time, we always there are 3, 4, 5 brothers, 2, 3 sisters. It's not that 1 or 2. So it means Grahastha, they take the license for enjoyment but not begetting children. It means they are not cooperating with the creative desire of Supreme Lord. So, liberation means surrender to Krishna. If one begets children with the purpose of training them to surrender to Krishna, fatherhood is very good. Similarly, when the spiritual master trains the conditioned soul to become Krishna conscious, his position is successful. If one gives the conditioned soul a chance to become Krishna conscious, all his activities are approved by Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is extremely pleased, as stated here, Prito Am. Following the example of previous acharyas, all the members of Krishna conscious movement should try to benefit the conditioned soul by inducing them to become Krishna conscious. and giving them all facility to do so. Such activities constitute real welfare work. By such activities, a preacher or anyone who endeavors to spread Krishna consciousness is recognized by Supreme Personality of Godhead, as stated by Lord Himself and confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Yedam paramam goyam madbhakteshu abhidhasyati. Mai bhaktim mai param kirtva माम एवेश्यसि असंशयः न च तस्मान् मनुष्येषु कश्चन मे प्रियः कृतमः भविता न च मे तस्माद् भूय तस्माद् अन्यः प्रियत्रो भुवि. For one who explains the supreme secret to the devotees, devotional service is guaranteed, and at the end he will come back to me. There is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, not will there ever be one more dear. So, in this verse, Lord is pleased with Daksh because he wanted to create. And Srila Prabhupada took this opportunity to preach and to inspire the Krishna conscious devotees. Sorry, say again. So Prabhupada is preaching that this is the desire of Krishna, that those who are grastas should bring the living entities as a father and train them in Krishna conscious, and those who are preacher, they should preach to the all people to become Krishna conscious. Since your austerities for increasing population of the earth is my desire, your austerities have become successful. What is the nature of your desire? May the population increase. Now everybody wants to decrease population. Verse number 45. Brahma bhavo bhavantascha manavo vibudhyaishvaraha vibhutayo mamahe eta bhutanam bhuti hetavaha. Now, Lord is giving example. Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Manus, all other demigods in the higher planetary system, and you Prajapatis, who are increasing the population, are working for the benefit of all living entities. Thus, you expansions of my marginal energy are incarnation of my various qualities. So they are all incarnation of Lord. Brahma is and Shiva are the Guna avatar. Manus, in the Manus there are Manvantar avatars. Demigods also, they are expansion, the different vibhutis of my various qualities. Lord Brahma and Shiva and you Prajapatis, the Manus, and the leaders of the Devatas, who are all my expansions, strive to increase the living entities. You are my vibhutis. There are various types of incarnation or expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Expansion of the personal self, Vishnu Tattva, are called Swans expansions, whereas the living entities who are not Vishnu Tattva but Jiva Tattva are called Vibhanna Ansa, separated expansions. Although Prajapati Daksh is not on the same level as Lord Brahma or Lord Shiva, he is compared to them because he engages in service of the Lord. In the service of the Personality of Godhead, it is not that the Brahma is considered very great, while an ordinary human being trying to preach the glories of the Lord is considered very low. There are no such distinctions, regardless of whether materially high or materially low. Anyone engaged in service of the Lord is spiritually very dear to him. In this regard, Srila Madhva Acharya gives this quotation from Tantra Nirvana. Vishesh Vyakti, so Vishesh Vyakti, Patra, Patrata, Adabhramadyastu, Vibhutyatahastad, Antaryaminas, Chaivatamasyadya Vibhavaha Smrtaha. From the Lord Brahma down, all the living entities engaged in the service of the Lord are extraordinary. Vishesh Vyakti, extraordinary. And are called Vibhuti. As the Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, Yad Yad Vibhuti Mat Srimad Sattvam Srimad Ujtam Eva Tad Eva Gashtam Eka Anse Nistito Jagat Sambhavam. Know that all beautiful, glorious and mighty creation are spring from but a spark of my splendor. The living entities especially empowered to act on behalf of Lord are called Vibhutis. Whereas Vishnu Tattva, incarnation of Lord, such as Matsya Avatar, Keshav Dharta, Meen Sarira, Jai Jagdish Hare are called Vibhava. So Vibhutis and Vibhava. So person doing this work are not low class. It means those who do the work of creation are not low class. 46. Tapo me hridyam brahmanas. Astrid is my heart. Brahmanas tanor vidya kriya kritihi angani. Kartavyo jata dharma atmasva suraha. So these are the all examples. What is what? My dear Brahman, austerity in the form of meditation is my heart. Vedic knowledge in the form of hymn and mantra constitute my body. And the spiritual activities and ecstatic emotions are my actual form. The ritualistic ceremonies and sacrifices, when properly conducted, are my various limbs of my body, and unseen good fortune proceeding from pious and spiritual activities constitute my mind, and demigods who execute my order in various departments are my life and soul. Who is speaking? Lord is speaking. O Brahman, austerity is my heart. Vedic knowledge in the form of hymn and mantra, vidya constitute my body, tanu. And the daily and occasional rites are my form, kriya akritihi. Sacrifice are various limbs of my body, angani kartavaha. The unseen good fortune proceeding from sacrifice constitute my mind, jata dharma atma. And the devatas are my life air. Lord's forms according to Karma Yoga. Sometimes atheists argue that since God is invisible to their eyes, they do not believe in God. For them, the Supreme Lord is describing a method by which one can see God in his impersonal form. Intelligent person can see God in personal form, as stated in Shastras. But if one is very eager to see the personality of Godhead immediately face to face, he can see the Supreme Lord through this description, which portrays the various internal, external parts of his body. To engage in tapasya or denial of material activities is the first principle of spiritual life. Then there are spiritual activities such as performance of Vedic ritualistic sacrifices, study of Vedic knowledge, meditation upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and chanting of Hare Krishna mantra. One should also respect the demigod. This is a very important line. One should also respect the demigods and understand how they are situated and how they act and how they manage the activities of the various departments of this material world. In this way, one can see how God is existing and how everything is managed perfectly because of the presence of the Supreme Lord. As stated by Lord in Gita, Maya Dikshen Prakriti Suyate Se Characharam Hetu Nane Kunti Jagat Viparivar. This material nature is working under my direction, O son of Kunti, and is producing all moving and non-moving beings. By its rules, this manifestation is created and added again and again. If one is unable to see the Lord, Supreme Lord, although he is present as Krishna in his various incarnations, one may see the Supreme Lord's impersonal feature according to the direction of the Vedas, by seeing the activities of the material nature. Anything done under the direction of Vedic injection is called dharma, as described by the order carrier of Yamaraj. Veda pranhito dharmo he adharmastad vipriya vedo narayana sakshat swayambhu iti sushrama. That which is prescribed in the Veda constitutes dharma, the religious principle, and the opposite of that is the religion. Vedas are directly the Supreme Personality of Godhead Narayan and are self-born. This has been heard from Yamaraj. In this connection, Srila Madhvacharya comments, Tapo Abhimani Rudras to Vishnu Hridyam Ashritta Vidya Rupa Tathaevo Ma Vishnu Stanum Upashrita Shringardya Akriti Gatah Kriyatma Pak Shashanah Sangeshu Kritvaha Sarve Madhya Dehe Cha Dharma Rat Prano Vayus Chitta Gato Brahmadyah Seveshu Devaha. The various demigods are all acting under the protection of Supreme Personality of Godhead, and according to their various actions, the demigods are differently named. Chakravarti Pad writes, Hear of my form according to Karma Yoga. Austerity is the form of Yam and Nem. In the form of Yam and Nem is my halt. Yam means don'ts, and Nem means do's. Like for us, the austerity is, Nem is always chant 16 rounds attentively. And Yam is follow the 4 regulated principles. This is our austerity, Yam and Nem. Knowledge with chanting mantra is my body. So when we chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, it is the body of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because he is pleased by this mantra. Daily and occasional rites are my form. Daily means every day going to Mangal Arati, hearing Bhagavatam, and occasional means Ekadashi and other Janmashtami. They are the form of the Lord. Sacrifices are Jata. My limbs are head. The result generated from the sacrifice is my mind. My life air are the devatas. All these actions, such as austerity, are vibhutis of my body of eternity, knowledge and bliss. Okay, we are going to verse number 47. Lord is speaking to Daksha. Aham eva sam eva agre na anyat kinchint anantram bahihi sangyana matram avyaktam prasoptam iva vishvataha. The first line remind you any other mantra? Aham eva sam eva agre.
Chatushloki.
First verse of the
first
Chatushloki.
chapter, yeah.
Yes, this is very similar. Before the creation of this cosmic manifestation, I alone existed with my specific spiritual potencies. Consciousness was then unmanifested, just as one's consciousness is unmanifested during the time of sleep. I alone existed before creation. I alone will exist after creation. And I alone exist now. Aham eva asam eva agre. Nothing exists outside of me or inside of me. I am also pure consciousness, sangyana matram, imperceptible by senses, avyaktam, quite as if sleeping, and all pervading, vishvataha. So Lord's form according to bhakti and gyan. So the previous verse was Lord's form according to the Kriya Yoga. And this is Lord's form according to bhakti and gyan. So verse number 46. So verse number 46 is Lord's form according to Karma Yoga. So Lord's forms according to Karma Yoga is verse number 46. So verse number 47 is Lord's form according to Bhakti and Gyan. So Lord's form according to Bhakti and Gyan. So word Aham indicates a person. As explained in Vidya, Nitya Nityanam Chetas Chetananam. The Lord is the supreme eternal among innumerable eternals and the supreme living being among the innumerable living beings. The Lord is a person who also has impersonal features. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 1:2-11, Vadanti tattva vida tattvam tajneyam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti shabdyate. Learned translators who knows the absolute truth call this non-dual substance Brahm, Paramatma and Bhagavan. Consideration of the Paramatma or impersonal Brahm arose after the creation. Consideration of the Paramatma and impersonal Brahm arose after the creation. Before the creation, only the Supreme Personality of God existed. This line is a good information. Consideration of the Paramatma and impersonal Brahm arose after creation. Because Paramatma feature is only in the material world. There is no existence of Paramatma in the spiritual world, right? And also, this Brahma is a consideration after creation. But before creation, only the Supreme Person of God had existed. As firmly declared in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord can be answered only by Bhakti Yoga. The ultimate cause, the supreme cause of creation is Supreme Personality of Godhead, who can be understood only by Bhakti Yoga. He cannot be understood by speculative philosophical research or by meditation, since all such processes came into existence after material creation. Therefore, Bhakti Yoga, the impersonal or localized conception of the Lords are more or less materially contaminated. The real spiritual process therefore is Bhakti Yoga. As the Lord says, Bhaktya Mam Abhijanati. Before the creation, Lord existed as a person as indicated here by the word Aham. When Prajapati Daksh saw him as a person who was beautifully dressed and ornamented, he actually experienced the meaning of this word Aham through devotional service. Each person is eternal. Because Lord said that he existed as a person before the creation Agre and will also exist after annihilation The Lord is the person eternally. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur therefore quotes these verses from Srimad Bhagavatam. Na cha antar na cha bahir yasyam. These are the verses from Damodar Leela. The personality of Godhead appeared in Vrindavan as the son of Mother Yashoda, who bound the Lord with rope. Yashoda, who bound the Lord with rope just an ordinary mother binds a material child. There are actually no divisions of the external internal for the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Satchidananda Vigraha. But when he appears in this world, in his own form, the unintelligent thinks him an ordinary person. Avajananti mam Mudha. Mudha, the unintelligent, thinks after the impersonal Brahm. Thinks that the impersonal Brahm has assumed a material body to come in the form of person. Ordinary living entities assume material bodies, but the Supreme Personality of Godhead does not. Since the Supreme Personality of Godhead is supreme consciousness, it is stated here and that Sangyana Matram. Samgyana Matram. Samyak Jnana Matram. The original consciousness, Krishna consciousness, was unmanifested before the creation. Although the consciousness of Supreme Personality of Godhead is origin of everything, Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor is the future shall we any of us cease to be. Thus the Lord is a person. The Lord's person is absolute truth, is the past, present and future. In this regard, Madhvacharya quote two verses from Matsya Purana. After the annihilation of everything, Supreme Lord, because of his Satchidananda Vigraha, remains in his original form. But since the other living entities have natural material bodies, the matter merges in the matter, and settled form of the spirit soul remains within the body of the Lord. The Lord does not sleep, but the ordinary living entities remain asleep until the next creation. An unintelligent person thinks that the opulence of the Supreme Lord is non-existent after the annihilation, but that is not a fact. Opulence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead remains as it is in the spiritual world. Only in the material world is everything dissolved. Brahma Lina, merging into the Supreme Brahm, is not actual lean or annihilation, for the settled forms remaining in the Brahm effulgence will return to the material world after the material creation and again assume a material form. This is described as Bhutva Bhutva Priyaliyate in Bhagavad Gita. When the material body is annihilated, the spirit soul remains in the settled form, which later assume another material body. This is true for the conditioned soul, but the Supreme Lord, Personality of Godhead, remains eternally in his original consciousness, the spiritual body. So, Chakravarti Pad writes, now hear about my form according to Bhakti Yoga. This form that you see with ornament, cloth, Garuda, associate existed before the creation. I will exist after the destruction of the universe as well. Agre means both previous and in the future. And I exist now. That is self-evident. This statement thus shows that the Lord exists in all three aspects of time. I have no interior or exterior. My limited form means just like Krishna is a limited form. My limited form pervades everything. This shows the Lord's inconceivable power. And these two verses, na chanta na chabhayar yasya na purvam na api chaparam purva param bhais chantra jagato jagatasha Tammatramajam avyaktam martyam lingam adokshajam gopi kaulakhale dhamana bandha prakritam yatha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has no beginning and no end, no exterior, no interior, no front, no rear. In other words, he is all pervading. because he is not under the influence of the element of time. For him, there is no difference between past, present, and future. He existed in his own transcendental form at all times. Being absolute beyond real relativity, he is free from distinction between the cause and effect. Although he is the cause and effect of everything, that unmanifested person who is beyond the perception of senses, Adokshajam, had now appeared as the human child, and Mother Yashoda considered him her own ordinary child, bound him to the wooden mortar with rope. Now hear about my form according to Jnana Yoga. What is the form according to Jnana Yoga? I am consciousness alone, Sangyanam Matram. Sangyanam Matram. I am not perceivable by senses. I pervade everything. So this is Chakravarti has given form according to Karam Yoga, form according to Bhakti Yoga, and form according to Jnana Yoga. Verse 48. Mai ananta gune anante gunato guna vigraha yada sita tata evadyaha swayambho sambhota ajaha. I am the reservoir of unlimited potency, and therefore I am known as unlimited or all-pervading. From my material energy, the cosmic manifestation appeared within me. And in this universal manifestation appeared the chief being Lord Brahma, who is your source and is not born of material mother. When the universe came into existence, yada guna vigraha asit. From my material energy, mai gunato. Within this unlimited Lord, anante, of unlimited qualities, ananta gune. Then Brahma, Ajjaha Swayambhu, and others, Adya, took birth within the universe. The Lord is the cause of the universe. Somebody should read Srila Prabhupada's purport. Yes, volunteer.
This is
This
the
is
description of the history of the universal creation. The first cause is the Lord Himself, the Supreme Person. From Him, Brahma is created, and Brahma takes charge of the affairs of the universe. The universal affairs of the material creation depend upon the material energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is therefore the cause of the material creation. The entire cosmic manifestation is described herein as Guna Vigraha, the form of the Lord's qualities. From the cosmic universal form, the first creation is Lord Brahma, who is the cause of all living entities. In this regard, Srila Madhav Acharya describes the unlimited attributes of the Lord. Prati ekasho gunana tuni hisi matvam udirayate ta danam anantyam tu guna test chananta hi Sankhyayato Nanto Guna Vishnur Gunato Nanta Evacha Prakasher Shakti Vividheva Suryate CC Madhya 13.65 Parasher Shaktir Vividha Ev Suryate. The Lord has innumerable potencies, all of which are unlimited. Therefore, the Lord Himself and all His qualities, forms, pastimes, and paraphernalia are also unlimited. Because Lord Vishnu has unlimited attributes, He is known as Ananta.
Okay, having told of his Swarupa, the Lord now speak of how he begins the creation. Gunata means from Maya. totality of the matter, the universe, Guna Vigraha, came into existence. Then within the universe, Brahma and you took birth. So now verse number 49 and 50. Savai yada mahadevo mama virya upabrandhita mene khilam ivatmanam udyatah swarga karmani अथ मे अभितो देवस्तपो तप्यत्त दारुणम नव विश्वसृजो जुष्मान येनादवो असृजित विभो. Now he is giving order. When the chief Lord of the universe, Lord Brahma Swayambhu, having been inspired by my energy, was attempting to create, he thought himself incapable. Therefore I gave him advice, and in accordance with my instruction, he underwent extremely difficult austerities. Because of these austerities, the great Brahma was able to create 9 personalities, including you, to help him in the function of creation. When the chief Lord of the universe, Brahma, endowed with my energy, was attempting to create, and though himself incapable, he underwent extreme austerities as advised by me. Because of these austerities, Brahma created 9 persons, including you, to help him in the function of creation. I instructed Brahma, okay. Nothing is possible without tapasya. Lord Brahma, however, was empowered to create the entire universe because of his austerities. The more we engage in austerities, the more we become powerful by grace of the Lord. Therefore, Rishabdev advised his sons, Tapo Divyam Putraka Yen Sattvam Shuddhyet. One should engage in penance and austerity to attain the divine position of devotional service. By such activities, one's heart is purified. In our material existence, we are impure and therefore we cannot do anything wonderful. But if we purify our existence by tapasya, we can do wonderful things by the grace of Lord. Therefore, tapasya is very important, as is stated in this verse. So, verse number 51. Now he is giving direct order to Prajapati Daksh. Esha pancha janayasya hanga duhita vai prajapate asikne nam patni tve prajesha pratigrahiyatam. My dear son Daksha, Prajapati Panchajanya has a daughter named Askini, whom I offer to you, so that you may accept her as your wife. Verse 52. Mithona vyavaya dharmastvam praja sargam imam punaha mithun vyavaya durame Dharaminyam bhurisho bhavyashyasi. Now unite in sexual life as a man and woman, and in this way, by sexual intercourse, you will be able to beget hundreds of children and womb of this girl to increase the population. The Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, Dharma virdho bhutesho kamo asmi bharta rishabha. I am sex that is not contrary to religious principle. Sexual intercourse ordained by Supreme Personal Godhead is dharma, a religious principle, but it is not intended for sense enjoyment. Indulgence in sense enjoyment through sexual intercourse is not allowed by the Vedic principle. One may follow the natural tendency for sexual life only to beget children. Therefore, the Lord told Daksh in this verse, this girl is offered to you only for sex life to beget children, not for any other purpose. She is very fertile, and therefore you will be able to have as many children as you beget. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes in this connection that Daksha was given the facilities for unlimited sexual intercourse. In Daksha's previous life, he was also known as Daksha, but in the course of performance of sacrifice, he offended Lord Shiva, and thus his head was replaced with that of a goat. Then Daksha gave up his life because of his degraded condition, but because he maintained the same unlimited sexual desires. He underwent austerities by which he satisfied the Supreme Lord, who then gave him unlimited potency for sexual intercourse. It should be noted that although such facilities for sexual intercourse is achieved by the grace of the Supreme Person of Godhead, this facility is not offered to as advanced devotees who are free from material desires. Anya Bilashita Sundi. In this connection, it may be noted that if the American boys and girls engaged in Krishna conscious movement want to advance in Krishna consciousness to achieve the supreme benefit of loving service to the Lord, they should refrain from indulging in this facility for sex life. Therefore, we do advise that one should at least refrain from illicit sex. Even if there are opportunities for sex life, one should voluntarily accept the limitation of having sex only for progeny, not for any other purpose. Kardam Muni was also given the facility for sex life, but he had only a slight desire for it. Therefore, after begetting children in the womb of Devahuti, Kardam Muni became completely renounced. The purpose is that if one wants to return home back to Godhead, one should voluntarily refrain from sex life. Sex should be accepted only as much as needed, not unlimitedly. One should not think that Daksha received the favor of Lord by receiving the facility for unlimited sex. Later verses will reveal that Daksha again committed an offense, this time at the lotus feet of Narad. Therefore, although sex life is the topmost enjoyment in the material world, and although one may have an opportunity for sexual enjoyment by the grace of Lord, this entails a risk of committing offenses. Daksha was open to such offenses, and therefore, strictly speaking, he was not actually favored by Supreme Lord. One should not seek the favor of Lord for unlimited potency in sex life. You having quality of sex life between man and woman will produce population in her. Though the Lord mercifully showed Daksha his form after Daksha has praised him, he had given him instruction, he cast Daksha into the path of karma and material enjoyment, not into the sweet ocean of his prem. That is because of the influence of his offense to the great devotee Shiva had not been completely removed. In the next chapter, Sukdev says that Daksha, impelled by the illusory energy of the Lord Vishnu, begot 10,000 sons in the womb of Askini. Because of his offense, he also criticized Narad. One should not say, the Lord also put Kardam into the material enjoyment. The Lord gave Kardam limited enjoyment on seeing slight desire in him, and he did not give an unlimited enjoyment. Tvam cha samyak anutishta nidesham ma ushtamaha mai tirthi krita asesha kritartho mam prapatasyai. Obeying my instruction, offer the result of your action to me. Becoming pure, finally you will attain me. Mam prapasyat. Kardam also prayed for bhakti. O Lord, I offer repeated respect to you, who destroy the desire to enjoy by giving realization of your sweetness, and who cover us with the result of the karma through the inspiration of your material maya, who gives material benediction to low person such as me, and whose lotus feet are worthy of worship. All devotees like Durva, though have material desire, desired bhakti, but Daksha did not desire bhakti. Therefore, Lord did not give him bhakti. This is the nature of the traces of the offenses. Okay? Verse 53. त्वत्तो अध्यस्तात् प्रजा सर्वा मिथुने भूय मायया मध्ययः भविष्यन्ति हरिष्यन्ति च मे बलिम्. After you give birth to many hundred and thousands of children, they will also be captivated by my illusory energy and will engage like you in the sexual intercourse. But because of my mercy, you and them, they will also be able to give me presentation and devotion. After this, captivated by my illusory energy, all the offsprings will engage in intercourse and increases. They will also offer me presentation and devotion. Your children. Now we are finishing this chapter. Sri Shuka Vacha Iti Uktvaha Mishtastasya Bhagavan Vishwabhavanaha Swapanah Upalabdhartha eva Tatraiva Antardade Harihi. Sukdev Goswami said and continued, after the creator of the entire universe, Supreme Personality of Godhead Hari, had spoken in this way in the presence of Prajapati Daksh, he immediately disappeared as if he were an object of experience in the dream. So there is no purport. The end of this chapter. Hare Krishna. Now some discussion. Narad Muni cursed by Prajapati Daksh is our next chapter. Maybe we can read the summary. You have anything for discussion?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Prabhuji, what is the answer for the first question? The first question of the verses 26 and 34.
What is the question?
Many this language is not right. Many rich processes.
Oh, anybody checked with the Shakti Swarupani?
I did text her and she was going to look into it. I think with Adidev Prabhu or someone, I don't know where she gets the study guide, but this is how she got the material and she passed it on to us. So she's going to look into it. But I think.
Okay, that's good, but I think we should continue. Okay. Are you there, Shakti? Yeah, that sentence doesn't make any sense. I don't know. Maybe we are not intelligent enough to understand. So this chapter relates how all the sons of Daksh were delivered from the cultures of the material energy by following the advice of Narad, who was therefore cursed by Daksh. Influenced by the external energy of Lord Vishnu, Prajapati Daksh begot 10,000 sons in the womb of his wife Panchjani, because daughter of Panchjani. These sons were all of the same character and mentality, were born as Haryashav. Ordered by their father to create more and more population, the Haryashav went to west to place where the river Sindhu, now Indus, meets the Arabian Ocean. In those days, this was the site of the holy lake named Narayan Sar, where there were many saintly persons. Haryashav began practicing austerity, penance and meditation, which are the engagement of the highly exalted renowned order of life. However, when Srila Narad Muni saw these boys engage in such commendable austerities, simply for material creation, he thought it better to release them from this tendency. Narad Muni described to the boys their ultimate goal of life and advised them not to become ordinarily karmi to beget children. Thus, all the sons of Daksha become enlightened and left never to return. Prajapati Daksha, who was very sad at loss of his sons, begot 1,000 more sons in the womb of his wife, Panchjani, and ordered them to increase progeny. These sons, who were named Savalashav, also engaged in worshipping Lord Vishnu to beget children, but Narad Muni convinced them to become mendicants, not beget children. Foiled twice in the attempt to increase population, Prajapati Daksh became most angry at Narad Muni and cursed him, saying that in the future he would not be able to stay anywhere. Since Narad Muni, being fully qualified, was fixed in tolerance, he accepted Daksh's curse. So this is the chapter we have to begin. Are you willing to come on Monday?
Yes, Guruji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So Sunday,
Yes.
Sunday we are having a break. On Monday, we will continue this chapter. So 1 to 22, Nard's allegory and Haryashub's renunciation. So this allegory of Nard is important in this chapter. And you have to find out the three main reasons of the allegories that is in the question bank. So this section definitely we will finish on Monday. And how many more verses are there?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Prabhuji, there are two representatives of the Lord, Narad Muni and even Daksha here, but both are the activities are quite contradictory. So
This is
how to understand? One is
this is-
trying to fulfill Lord's desire for the progeny.
both are
And
doing
then
same. Both are doing same thing. Therefore, this canto is called Poshan. So, Lord is doing the Poshan of Pravrti Marg of Daksha and Nivarti Marg of Narad. He is giving blessing to both. To the Daksh to increase creation, Pravrti Marg. And to the Narad to be renounced and not to stay on any one place. So Poshan is for both Narad and for Daksh. But still Daksh, as we have seen, this is subtlety that still that offense to the Lord Shiva is continuing, is lingering on. So he is not asking for bhakti. But it's not. But this is also a Poshan. Lord gave him darshan. It's not easy. He got that blessing of the Lord, but he could not ask for devotion because still there is some traces of his offense. So Srila Prabhupada took the opportunity, and most of the time he's preaching that we should not have the desire like a Daksha for a material enjoyment, but rather we should be more in a mood of renunciation, because that will lead us to reach our goal, love of God. But Lord is giving blessing to both. Ultimately, creation is also the desire of the Lord. Out of the 12 Mahajans, some at least almost half or more are also the householders. Because there is also the desire of the Lord for creation, just to do the welfare for the conditioned souls. And also there is a need of the renounced order people to preach to the householders to renounce. So there is a need of the both things. If there are no householder, from where the renounced order will come? So portion of both.
Prabhuji, there's no class tomorrow, Sunday.
I
She
want.
said Shakti Mataji was saying Sunday and Monday, but
I
we're
wanted-
taking break tomorrow.
I wanted something on Sunday. Uh, the time is not suiting same for 5:30 because somebody is coming tomorrow because of Sunday to see me here exactly at the same time.
Okay.
And Sunday because I'm here in Pune, so they want me to give morning class, and then I'm here for some therapy Ayurvedic. So then evening. I wanted to finish this chapter in Sunday and Monday, but I think I cannot be able to. So let's see how we can do.
Okay.
Monday we'll
No
do.
class tomorrow.
Yeah,
Monday.
Monday
No
we
class
will
tomorrow.
do. Tuesday on 6th also I will be in Ajmer, but I will have an evening class. So in these 2 days I think we should complete this 5th chapter. Then 6th chapter is somehow I will see how I can adjust. Maybe first 2 days I can ask my son to give some classes 1 hour or so, then we can have at least 1 hour class, maybe short class or something, 6:30 onward till 7:30. Then we can finish in 3-4 days our assignment. Is it okay?
Okay.
So this is all these questions you have answered.